UFL Primetime returns for week number 9 as the race for the postseason begins to heat up. And on our dance card tonight, it's the Cincinnati Vultures visiting the Dallas Talons. Hello, good evening, and welcome to UFL Primetime. I'm Josh Circle doing play-by-play, and joining me in the booth, my best friend for the next 2 hours, Eric Vincent. Eric, we got a couple of whales at the table tonight. Which one do you expect to win big, and who do you see going home broke this evening?
Zirkle, this ought to be a great one, man. I mean, how could you look at this card right here and expect anything other than a knockdown, drag-out fight, especially after watching game night and watching St. Louis fall inexplicably to Central Division foe Tennessee. So that opens the door for Cincinnati to win this game, take control of the Eastern Conference, and for Dallas to go ahead and win this game tonight and keep pace in the Central Division.
Dallas split with St. Louis in the regular season. A win here tonight would leave both of those teams at 6-2 as the kick goes through the end zone. The Vultures will start on offense. The Vultures will start on defense. Dallas in blue jerseys, silver hats, silver pants. Cincinnati, red hats, white tops, and gold pants. Right out of the gate, Dallas will throw it on first down. And that is Charlie Elliott, the backup tight end. Who do you like in this Dallas Talons offense, Eric?
I mean, how could you not like quarterback Cameron Duty? But he's got great weapons. Travius James coming out of the backfield, young, speedy back. Rashard Lockley, speaking of speed, I mean, he can absolutely run a mile in a minute. And it is impressive to watch him run that go route and catch a deep pass from Duty. Duty will hand off on second down.
And here's a look at the Cincinnati Vultures defense.
Yeah, and then on defense, we're here for the Vultures. I mean, Nathan Brady IV, he is an impressive linebacker there at left outside linebacker. You got the right outside linebacker, Robert Brady Jr. You've got Naisha Ingram back at strong safety. Big weapons on defense for the Vultures as well, as they are a top 15 defense coming into week 9.
Very stout. Something Cameron Duty is going to have to keep an eye on. Third down here on the opening drive for the Dallas Talons. Duty in the shotgun. Throwing down to the left side, and that is caught. Big catch right out of the gate for Isaiah Taylor, the 8th-year player out of Utah State.
Yeah, and that was just a great read there by Duty. You could see him. I mean, Taylor's wide open. He probably could have thrown it short. Didn't even need to put the loft on it that he did. But Duty, he's been known to throw that deep ball, so he wanted to throw it towards that far sideline there and get as much yardage as possible. Great throw, great conversion there for Dallas.
And Duty already in field goal range here on the Talons opening drive, handing off up the middle. And that's going to be 1, maybe 2 yards for Travius James. Second down.
Yeah, and Dallas just looking to keep things kosher. Had a couple losses back-to-back. Both of them a little bit different from each other. They elected not to make any sort of changes here, so we'll have to see how that results in a game against a tough Cincinnati foe.
James this time on the pitch. Get a little bit more, but it leaves 3rd and long. James, of course, 7 rushing touchdowns heading into the week. That leaves him 2nd on the UFL leaderboard, just behind St. Louis's Junior McCray. And now 3rd down. Duty will stay in the shotgun. Has time. 4-man rush from the Vultures. Unloads toward the end zone, and in and out of the hands of Taryn Walls, the 3rd-string halfback, who's seen a lot of playing time already on this drive, and that'll be 4th down for Dallas.
Yeah, I think they were trying to run a bit of a wheel concept and see if they can go ahead and get the back involved, but just great defense there from the Vultures. Pearson Pierce, unclaimed corner there, able to break it up, and that's going to be our first punt of the evening.
Great many of these UFL stars looking for forever homes. You can claim your players at UFL.football. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. Punt down at the 5-yard line. Outstanding special teams play from Trey Strong. Visit the website at UFL.football. You guys can read that. Find out how to claim your player and join either of these outstanding UFL franchises. And there, the Cincinnati Vultures will take over on the offensive side of the football, led by Mac Chima. First and 10, Chima will go under center and will hand off And already under duress is Al Ingram the third. That's very close to a safety. They're going to spot him at the 1 yard line, 2nd and long.
Yeah, I think he had just enough forward momentum to get himself out of the end zone there, but
yes,
the linebacker was able to get through. Roberts made the initial contact there, and then following up, I mean, really any number of Dallas Talons were able to make that stop on Ingram. So now it puts the Vultures in a difficult spot here on 2nd and 13.
Chima's going to stay under center. They're going to try and pound this out up the middle. It's Ingram again to the left side. And maybe a yard there. A slew of Dallas defenders coming to the football. 3rd down.
And this is dangerous here, Josh. I mean, there's not really a whole lot of plays in the playbook when you're backed up this far in your own territory, and you got to give your punter at least a little bit of room if you can't convert.
Absolutely. Ingram again and again. Shut down. No gain that time. That's Trevitz Roberts, excuse me. The linebacker making the stop. It'll be 4th down.
And on all 3 plays, Roberts was in there. He had a nose for the football. He understood what was happening here with the Vultures offense. The Vultures, they've also kind of come off a couple different losses. They elected to kind of balance out their offensive game plan, wanted to run the football a little bit more so that way they could control some clock. Seemed to have bit them in the butt a little bit on that drive.
No, it's tough to show a lot of variety when you're playing in the shadow of your old goalpost. The Vultures punt that away. That ball's going to round, and they're going to pick it up. What a stunner there. As Storm Lynch just says, why not? Scoops it up and gets it out to the 28. What do you think of that effort?
I mean, there really wasn't a whole lot of anybody near Lynch, so I don't blame him for picking it up and getting what he could on that punt. Now they've got decent field position here at the 28-yard line. Actually, a pretty decent punt from Cincinnati to flip the field.
Agreed. Cameron Duty will start this drive under center this time. And Duty dropping back to pass on 1st down, throwing to the sideline, incomplete. You see the very premature numbers on Cameron Duty, 2nd down.
Yeah, it really wasn't anywhere for him to go. He was trying to get it to Grady, but there were so many different Vulture defenders there. I think Duty was just trying to throw that one out of bounds, live to fight another down.
Duty averaging 322 yards per game and passing through the air. Good enough for 5th on the UFL leaderboard. That time they go to the ground, and it'll be 3rd and 3. You can do just about anything you want here, Eric.
Yeah, absolutely. And Travius James with the carry there came in with a little over 550 yards thus far, 7 touchdowns. We'll see what they do on 3rd and 3.
Duty will throw, unleashing the dragon down the sideline. That's actually on the numbers, and it looked like he was looking for Isaiah Taylor again. But fantastic coverage by the Vultures defense, and now the Talons will go 3 and out.
And this is what this Talons offense likes to do. They like to air the ball out, and they like to throw the ball down the field. Cincinnati, though, they've got a very tough secondary. And as you can see right there, great position by Whitaker to go ahead and knock the football away. Had a chance at a pick.
Uke Whitaker, the wily 10-year veteran out of Ohio State. And here comes the punt from Trey Strong. An outstanding effort last time. And he gets it inside the 20 again. And the Vultures will start this drive at their 20. And Mac Chima and friends looking to capitalize on what, compared to their last drive, Eric, outstanding field position.
Yeah, they're trying to feel each other out a little bit here, it seems like. And Cincinnati, I think, really has their first real offensive possession after being pinned back at the 1 on the last one.
I agree with that. Chima will throw on 1st down to the right side. And that will be complete, good for 4 yards. Nice effort to the sideline. That was Matt Green, the number 3 wide receiver, 2nd and 6. Now bunch set to the left. Chima in the shotgun. Perhaps looking to throw again. 4-man rush from Dallas over the middle this time. And maybe it's a miscommunication on the route. 3rd down.
And I was curious if they were going to go towards the top of the formation there. It looks like they may have had one-on-one coverage with the safety back. Not sure if maybe Chima didn't see it or they didn't want to manipulate the safety on that particular one, but here's 3rd down in a passing situation.
Oh, here comes the blitz, and they dump it off. It's Ingram on the screen. He's got a 1st down, roaming wild and free. Out to the 36-yard line. First down of the game for the Vultures.
Perfectly called screen pass there from Cincinnati. able to call that on 3rd and 6. Obvious passing situation. Dallas is going to be coming for Chima's lunch. Good jump down there for Ingram and plenty of blocking out in front to get the first down.
Yeah, Zach Daniel, the center, basically took out 2 players with just 1 block because the second defender had to run around him. And Ingram doing a nice job on the catch and run, creating yardage after the catch, and now out to the 36. This Vultures offense starting to hum. Bunch set to the right side. Chima sneaks up under center to take the snap. Ingram again. And Ingram, as far as the running game goes, just had a hard time getting out of first gear. Second down.
Yeah, you can tell this Dallas defense, they are honing in on that rushing attack there for Al Ingram III, and they are not going to allow him much of anything.
Nickel look from Dallas this time. Chima under center. 2nd and 6. Happy feet. Chima over the middle. That is in and out of his hands and nearly picked off. The receiver had a hard time coming up with that one, and now a big 3rd down for the Vultures.
I was looking for friend of the program, T-Roy Gaines there, the tight end. Big hit on the back end, jarred the football loose. Could have possibly been a turnover as well, but now a 3rd and 6 again.
Now dime look now for Dallas. Chima over the middle. That is caught. And that's T-Roy Gaines, Cincinnati's very own, and a fresh set of downs for the Vultures.
Cincinnati born and raised. T-Roy Gaines right there with a good catch. Couldn't find him on that last play. Wide open on that one and able to secure the football for the first down near the midfield stripe.
T-Roy Gaines, of course, a star of the SFL's Baltimore Vultures, now making his presence felt here on the Cincinnati Vultures of the UFL with his first catch of the game. Chima the shotgun on first down. Handoff. Ingram gets his team to plus territory. It'll be down at the 48-yard line, 2nd down.
Yeah, and it's a shame that what Cincinnati wanted to kind of balance out in their offensive game plan isn't really working out so far. Really, the passing attack has been the most successful option for them thus far.
But clearly the Dallas defense is focused on Al Ingram, and there's another gang tackle on Ingram. Just 4 yards for Ingram so far. But Cincinnati has buttered their bread through the air. Mac Chima, 279 yards average per game. That's good for 14th. Warren Murray's 8 receiving touchdowns, good for 1st on the UFL leaderboards. Chima again, this time it's caught, and again it's T-Roy Gaines. Through the air is getting it done for Cincinnati. That's another first down.
Well, and 2 differing offenses as well. Cincinnati looking more for the check down, not looking to really air it out deep, utilizing the run game to get what they can, get themselves in 3rd and manageable or 2nd and manageable situations, go to the air, find your reliable options like Gaines on these short little, hitch routes, bump and go routes, anything like that to just get the first down.
There's Ingram again. Ingram now with a head of steam going around the right side. And that was a run-heavy look from Dallas. And Ingram still manages to get 9 yards, 2nd and 1.
Yeah, great blocking up front there from the Vultures offensive line, running it off tackle there. Great job there to get 9.
Murray again has the first down. Fighting for yards now down at the 25. And Cincinnati very likely to come away with some points on this drive with a fresh set of downs.
It's looking more and more like that. They're getting closer and closer to that red zone. Dallas looking for a stop here.
Out of the shotgun on the draw. It's Ingram again, and Ingram fighting for another first down. Oh, so they're going to give it to him. Another first down for Al Ingram III, who is starting to set this field on fire.
Like I said, Josh, this is their real first offensive possession that they've gotten where they could go ahead and run their real offense. And we're starting to see now, okay, they're going to focus a little bit more on the run game, see what Al Ingram could do, and then utilize the pass game, balance things out, keep the football moving, and at the end of the game, hopefully have more points on the scoreboard.
And now Cincinnati goes heavy with 3 tight ends. Ingram again bounces off the line with time winding down in the first quarter, 2nd and 8.
And it's been a hard-fought first quarter here. I mean, clearly on the scoreboard, nobody willing to give an inch thus far.
This might be the last play of quarter number 1. Chima sends a receiver in motion. They fake the jet sweep, and this time they go to the backup. That's Leonard Crawford, as they give Al Ingram a blow. And now it's 3rd and long. Will Ingram come back on the field here?
Probably will, especially since we hit the reset on the quarter, but great tackle there by Frank Bernstein. I mean, look at him just running off the corner. He knew exactly what play was coming, and he goes right for the running back to make the tackle. Great job there.
Well, they are going to line up here on 3rd and 11. Let's see if they run a play. They do not. 1 quarter in the books. Nothing but goose eggs on the scoreboard. Who will strike first? You're watching UFL Primetime on the Virtual Football Network. Here in Dallas, Texas, UFL Week 9 action. I'm Josh Circle, he's Eric Vincent. That's Mac Chima, back to pass on 3rd and long. We'll throw the check down. Gaines makes the catch and stays in bounds, but that'll be well short of the first. And here comes the field goal unit for the Vultures.
Yeah, and great defensive play call there for the Talons to go ahead and send pressure into Chima's face. He had to dump it off. They get the stop and force a field goal.
Bragging rights in the Great East Conference on the line as Brian Bleeker breaks the scoreless tie and puts the Vultures on the board first. It's 3-0.
Yep, 3-0 on the board, a 33-yard field goal. And Cincinnati able to strike first here. And this is we talked about it, Josh. This is going to be a very tough game, a tough matchup between both of these teams. Who's going to come out on top? Right now, Cincinnati with probably the best drive. Dallas showing some early momentum, but can't quite get that V8 humming on all cylinders.
Well, and both teams are clearly trying to establish a run. Not only Ingram with Cincinnati, but Trevius James at Dallas as well. And Ingram looked like he finally loosened that defense up enough to make some big gains, and they did not find the end zone, but they gained a lot of field position, and of course, as we said, broke the tie flag on the kick return as Dallas takes over on offense, and that's going to be a face mask and some extra yards for the Talons. Zach Wilson, the offending party.
Yeah, and that's going to set them up with great field position at the 47. I mean, it was already a great kick return out to the 32, but add 15 more yards, and man, this high-flying Dallas offense has less yard to work with and a lot fewer yardage to get to the end zone.
Gamma Duty standing on his own logo to start the drive and going the wrong direction already. First catch of the game for Rashad Lockley, and it's not a very good one. Loss of 4.
Well, they like to get the ball into Lockley's hands, and I think they were just trying to get a little cute there on first down, maybe catch the Vultures off guard. Nobody was fooled on that one, though. As you see, number 23, Spencer, coming in there and making the stop. I mean, nowhere for Lockley to go.
Lockley first on the UFL leaderboard in yards per game, 126. That was his first catch of the game. And Duty will go play action here. Over the middle. That is caught. Lockley again. A much more profitable venture. 3rd and short.
And I really wish that Lockley would have just turned on the jets. He's got that breakaway speed. It looked like he had a little bit of a hole there in the middle of the field. Instead, that little sidestep backwards cost him some yardage. 3rd down.
Duty in the shotgun this time. 3 wideouts to his right. Rush from Cincinnati. Lockley again. And Lockley, with just 3 catches, has his team in field goal range on the 3rd drive of the game for Dallas.
Yeah, and great job there by Lockley. Camera Duty, patient in the pocket there. Looked like just a little hitch route there. Lockley able to shove off the initial contact, get a couple extra yards. Spencer back in coverage again. And as you see there, he's going to go ahead and whiff on the tackle. Great job there by Lockley. But Ford and company were able to wrap him up.
Rashad Lockley, 6th-year veteran out of Air Force. Up the middle now, it's Trevius James this time. Trevius James with a pretty nice gain on first down, 2nd and 4.
Yeah, and this is what we were talking about. Lots of weapons here for Dallas. James able to get a good 5-6 yards usually on his first carry. So now that sets them up in manageable situation here on 2nd down.
One of the best offenses in the league on the field right now. James with another carry around the right side and maybe gets a yard. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Yeah, both these teams coming in with top 10 offenses here in the UFL. Dallas coming in with the 5th-ranked offense in the UFL coming into Week 9.
Duty in the shotgun. Big 3rd down. Got to have it. 4th Man rush, and that is caught by Neil Rivers. And Neil Rivers will make it 1st and goal.
And he's one of those dark horse weapons here for the Talons. You know, you know that Rivers is out there. He's got a huge frame, 6'4", 240. He runs routes like a wide receiver, but he catches maybe 3-4 balls a game. But those 3-4 balls that he catches are important catches, usually for touchdowns. Here, it was a 3rd down conversion.
Well, this catch would probably be good for at least 3 points, as it's 1st and goal for the Talons. Duty to James. James making the move. He's in the end zone for the touchdown. Dallas crosses the goal line first.
And great move there. That was actually the backup tailback, Taron Walls, coming in there and sniping the touchdown away from the usually active Travius James. But what a move there, just in the hole. That's Oklahoma drill right there, Zirkle. I mean, you go ahead and make that little bit of a move, and you're off to the races into the end zone.
He got a lot of mileage out of that little hip shake. It was magnificent to watch. And Travius James making a big play in a big game. And Corey Ruth will make it 7-3. And the Talons have their first lead of the game.
And unfortunately for you, your UFL bingo players out there, number 7, hey, that ends up being both the yardage for the touchdown and the number of points on the scoreboard for Dallas. So no double dipping for you on this one, but keep playing. We're eager to call out some UFL bingos tonight.
Visit the YouTube channel of Green Gridiron, who launched a collaboration with the UFL that will bring all 32 teams to life with full-size helmet replicas. It's just the first way the UFL is bringing these teams to life. To find out more, visit greengridiron.com. I'm hoping I don't need to spell Green Gridiron. Maybe for some of your friends on the Rochester squad, Eric.
Well, that was a low blow. You didn't need to go that route.
that was hostile. I apologize. Lots of fine folks over there at Rochester. And a fine folk right there. Al Ingram, the first on Cincinnati's first play of their 3rd drive. Good for 6 yards, 2nd and 4.
Yeah, and this is what Cincinnati needs. They need to have their run game go ahead and set them ahead of schedule, so that way they could go ahead and go back to the air and pick it up. It looks like they're trying to do it here.
Man, a little bubble screen, which I don't enjoy seeing usually. I do like seeing the ball get to Warren Murray, but not much happening there. Loss of 3. Not a lot of blocking here on this bubble screen there.
No, and in fact, that was just great defense there. Foxworth, it kind of slow plays that a little bit of a hesitation just to make sure he's seeing what he's seeing. And then that burst of speed there to go ahead and make the stop. Loss of 1, now a 3rd and 7.
Team on the shotgun, on the draw again, Ingram! Magnificent on that draw so far, has another 1st down. And you see the numbers for Al Ingram to 3rd. Right now he is 1st in terms of running back prowess on the field.
So far with the rushing attack, it's been that delayed handoff and it's been the off-tackle runs that have been the most successful here for the Vultures. And you saw it right there. Gives the blockers ability to set up. Dallas trying to respect the passing game as well. They know that Chima can hurl the rock down the field, and he's got plenty of weapons to do it. So gives them a little extra space to operate, and obviously a 1st down there.
4 wideouts for Chima, and Ingram gets the call again. And again, Ingram fights for yardage and gets past the sticks for another 1st down.
And that's the other thing they're going to need to get from Ingram tonight is yards after contact. You see early on, he's got 12 yards after contact on average here tonight. And look at that right there. Got met in the backfield by the linebacker. Good stiff arm there to get free and then get the extra yardage. Even moved the sticks on that play.
I think it's safe to say you're not going to get Al Ingram down at this point in the game with just 1 tackler.
No, not right now.
Dude is a juggernaut. The inertia is palpable. The draw again. And this time they have 2 guys for Dallas to bring Ingram down smack dab on the middle of the 50-yard line. 2nd down.
I mean, my man did not miss leg day. I mean, you saw the legs churning, even with 2 Talon defenders on his back. Still able to make something out of nothing on that one.
Now 2nd and 9. Chima will go under center. They're heavy. And handing off, it's the backup, Leonard Crawford, as Ingram gets a blow. And now maybe we'll see Ingram back in for 3rd and long.
3rd and long, bit of a tough spot here. Certainly not in field goal range. They want to definitely convert this one to see if they can get some points on the board.
A 2-back set for Chima. And Crawford will take the ball caught out of the backfield. I don't know why that was so difficult to describe. Maybe it's just the sadness that I felt that Cincinnati's offense will go off the field. Here comes the punt unit.
Oh, no, I'm with you, Josh. You know, it was a bit of a letdown, bit anticlimactic. You know, you're waiting for Chima to possibly hurl the ball down the field. I think he was just a little too quick to get rid of that football, didn't let the play develop, and now Cincinnati going to have to punt the football away.
I agree. I'm a little surprised to see Leonard Crawford have his number called in that 3rd down situation. But here comes the punt, and this is looking pretty fresh. Can they get it at just the right spot? And the answer is no. It's going to be a touchback, and Dallas will take over on the 20. For UFL schedules, standings, stats, rankings, and more, visit the league website at YOUFL.football and claim your player today. Lots of players on the field right now looking for forever homes. Cameron Duty throwing over the middle. Lockley again. And another big catch and another 1st down for Lockley.
Yeah, this time Lockley breaking free right off the line of scrimmage. Duty saw it right away, fired a rocket over to him, and a great completion there. Look at all that wide open space. Paid for it on the back end on that hit. And I think that was number 58. And that was the linebacker, I believe, making that hit.
Was Eldred Ford the mic?
Yes.
Getting a little heavy here. The double tight end set. Duty throwing over the middle. And that will fall incomplete. That's going to be 2nd down.
Yeah, a bit of too much mustard on that pass there. Duty looking to go over the middle. Get some yardage there on the crossers. They've been doing that a lot here tonight. Haven't really been working the sidelines as much as they have in past games.
They have not. Another bubble screen and another net neutral, or maybe net negative, as Pierce is going to shut that down in a hurry, and it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, ideally when it comes to these little bubble screens here, or these little wide receiver screens, you want the receiver to go ahead and catch the football and move back towards the blocking, or spin around, get a burst of speed, and beat your one-on-one man. Neither of those happened there.
3 wideouts for Duty on 3rd down. 4-man rush from Cincinnati. Unleashing the dragon to the left side. He's got one-on-one coverage, and that is full incomplete. Lockley, well defended that time by Uke Whitaker. And that's going to be all she wrote for Dallas on this drive.
Whitaker wowed me on this play because it looked like the receiver had made an impressive adjustment there. Lockley was working his way towards the sideline to get a little bit of space to catch this ball, and Whitaker just launches himself and gets a fingernail on that football to knock the football down. Just great play on the back end by the secondary.
It's a great look, outstanding free safety play. Lockley, I like the decision to take a shot at it while you have the lead. But Dallas will now give up the football with just over 2 minutes here in the 1st half. Trey Strong punts it away. Another beautiful punt from Trey Strong. A little too strong for this game as that goes through the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, knocked the first one out at the 1. This one just a little bit too much on it. And Cincinnati will get a little bit more breathing room than the last time that Dallas had a punt away.
You saw the numbers there for Al Ingram, 12 carries already, and already past the 50-yard mark in this game. Mac Chima going to add to his total perhaps with this catch, and that is caught. And of course it's T-Roy Gaines catching the ball at midfield.
It's funny, you don't expect a mismatch on a tight end with a corner, but I mean, here's T-Roy Gaines. I mean, he beats his man right off the line. Just a great job. And a great job by Chima for letting this play develop. That's what we were talking about the last time around. And he lets the play develop. He lofts a beauty there to T-Roy Gaines to bring us to the 2-minute warning.
Dallas leading Cincinnati threatening. First half winding down. You're watching UFL Primetime on the Virtual Football Network. Dallas, Texas. For Week 9 UFL action, I'm Josh Circle. He's Eric Vincent. That's Mac Chima eating the dirt. Dallas coming up with the first sack of the game for either team. That's Ryan Van Holten.
Yeah, Ryan Van Holten, 6-year man out of Michigan, coming in there, running right up the middle, getting to Chima in a hurry.
Van Holten's 8.5 sacks, fourth on the UFL leaderboard heading into the week. Chima again, four-man rush. He's going to tuck it and go out to midfield, taking a shot. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10. Unique rules of the UFL. Spikes not allowed. No huddles. Incur a 10-second runoff regardless of yardage gained. And that time definitely a factor here. Chima in the shotgun. Dallas cannot get to the quarterback, and now they do. Another timeout burned. That's Jarek Briggs, number 92, first on the scene.
And Kenny Thomas was right there to go ahead and clean it up as well. I mean, one of those two guys was going to bring Chima to the dirt. Great response there by the Talons on that no-huddle offense that Cincy was throwing at them. They're going to get the ball back with 2 timeouts.
Excuse me, that is the first timeout called by either team. That one charged to Dallas. And now Cincinnati punting it away. That's Brendan Davis with a mighty leg. And that'll go back to the 20. And so Cameron Duty's going to get one more bite at the apple here with 1:03 to play in the first half.
Man, what's crazy about that last possession there, Josh, is Cincinnati, they've only allowed 17 sacks all season. That's the 8th fewest in the UFL. They gave up 2 on one drive.
And at the worst possible time as well, trying to even the score. It's time winding down here in the first half. Rashard Lockley again with another magnificent downfield catch and another first down. Clock continues to run, 48 seconds.
Yeah, and I think Lockley's starting to get a little bit of work on Spencer. He's starting to finally find a little bit of breathing room. As you can see there, ran a crisp route, left Spencer in the dust, and Duty recognizes it right away.
Bunch set to Duty's right this time. James in the backfield. And Duty on the crossing route. That is caught. Can he get out of bounds? He cannot. Dallas will have to burn their second timeout. Isaiah Taylor with the catch.
Yeah, and I wish that Taylor had a bit more presence of mind to go ahead and get the ball out of bounds. I mean, he cut back towards the inside for whatever reason. That forces Dallas to use their second timeout here. Could have probably used it as they're working the ball down the field trying to get within field goal range.
You think they would pack it up at this point, but no. Duty in the shotgun here for 2nd and 5. Trips to his right. Throwing down the field, and that is incomplete. Looking for Lockley again. And now it's 32 seconds remaining, and Cincinnati might get one more shot on offense before we head to the locker rooms.
Yeah, this is a big 3rd down here for Cincinnati. If they can go ahead and get this stop, then they can go ahead and get the football back and a chance to take the lead.
Duty finds a receiver. That is caught. Isaiah Taylor taking some punishment, but hanging on to the football. It's a fresh set of downs. Clock running again, and I think they will let it run all the way down to 0 here.
Yeah, I don't anticipate them to go ahead and get back up to the line. We're just trying to just see what they could get out of this drive, and Cincinnati did a good job holding them pat, making sure that they didn't allow any further points, and it's a tight ball game here after one half. 7-3. We might get one more play here, Josh.
Cameron Duty is going to burn a timeout. That will be their last timeout, and then maybe they'll line up for a Hail Mary here. I'm always mixed on the Hail Mary, Eric, because I feel like you're putting your quarterback in harm's way. He's got to sit back there for 4 or 5 seconds and let the route develop, and that could put him in harm's way in a major circumstance here.
Well, they've definitely put it within Duty's range. He's got a heck of an arm, and looks like that's what they're lining up here to do. Maybe run just 4 9s down the field.
Little blitz. Duty will let it go, and that is in and out of the hands, and it'll be intercepted. All for naught, though, as time officially expires. That was Nick Lawson with the pick. That will send us to the locker room. Dallas defending their home field. They lead 7-3. Eric Vincent, your thoughts on the first half?
I mean, very, hard-fought first half. I mean, Dallas did a nice job there. They moved the football well, just couldn't really quite convert other than that one touchdown that we saw there later on in the second quarter of play. But they flipped the field on Cincinnati, didn't really allow them to run their main offense until the second possession, which they were able to get a field goal on the board. And that's the score that you see here. I expect more of it in the second half. Both these defenses have come out ready to fight. Both these offenses looking to find a little bit of momentum.
Second half coming up right after League Rights. You're watching UFL Primetime on the Virtual Football Network.
This presentation of the UFL is intended for the private use of our audience. Any accounts or descriptions of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Cincinnati will start the third quarter with the football as Dallas kicks it away. And a mighty leg brings the ball to the back of the end zone, and they will down it. That's Pearson Pierce saying, "No, sir." And now here comes Mac Chima and friends. Leonard Crawford, a little bit of volume. Do you think you'll see more of him in the second half, Eric, after the volume that Al Ingram has had in the first half?
That's a great question, Josh. I mean, Al Ingram, it's hard to keep him on the sideline, though. He is just a force to be reckoned with out of that backfield.
Well, there is Ingram right there on first down. And he's going to get maybe 1 or 2 or 3, as they call it, 2nd and 7. And Ingram, once again, going back to the draw with Cincinnati, 2nd and 7. Trips to Mac Chima's left now. Ingram in the backfield again, and he does get the call, the sweep. And that's going to be a respectable 3rd and short. Cincinnati not deviating from the run in the slightest here, Eric.
No, they're not, and that was a good play call there as Dallas came out in a man defense, just needed the wide receivers to block a little bit longer, and Ingram might have been off to the races.
3 tight ends. Ingram again has the first down up to the 40, and now out of bounds at the 43. Is that 3 straight runs? 4 straight runs for Ingram? I'm losing count at this point, Eric.
Yeah, no kidding, right? But this is a great run here by Ingram, great blocking up front. Honestly, Jonah Heim was the linebacker that came in and had great pursuit to get in and actually make the stop. Julian Heim, to save that touchdown, because I think that Ingram probably could have found his other level there, his next gear, and find the end zone on that run.
Jesse Fretz with a comment on league rights. What if I just have written consent, but I don't express it to anybody? Jesse, that doesn't count, and you know it. But what does count is this big first down catch and run from T. Roy Gaines, his 5th of the game.
Yeah, Gaines, 4 catches in the first half. They were all pretty crucial, and they're all routes very similar to this. Gaines will just line up on the line with the offensive line. He'll come out, he'll run a little bit of a hitch route, and Chima finds him. And Gaines, I mean, he runs like a running back, so he's able to find some necessary space and get extra yardage there for a big tight end.
And Mac Chima has been on target when his feet have not been too happy, and he's given himself a chance to throw the football. This time it is Crawford, and Crawford will have a few as he basically runs into the back of the line. 2nd and 7.
Yeah, and these linebackers have played really well here for the Talons. Talked about Julian Heim a little bit. He actually got boosted by Dallas a couple of weeks ago, so we're seeing his improved play on the field here tonight.
Ingram back on the field. That's thrown to Warren Murray. Warren Murray, relatively quiet night for him, as they're just trying to invent a way to get him for the football. And you look at the stat line, you could see why. Negative yardage for Murray so far tonight.
It's a very different type of football game that we're seeing from the Vultures, because both of these teams, they do like to air it out typically. But we talked about how Cincinnati, after the couple losses that they had, they wanted to go back to the drawing board and maybe have a little bit more of a balanced approach the time of possession game and win that war against these Dallas Talons here tonight. And so that's why we're seeing a lot more runs here from Al Ingram III and fewer passes that are deep down the field.
6 DBs on the field for Dallas. Chima with some happy feet to the left sideline, looking for Gaines. That's incomplete. And to that point, Eric, with the personnel changes, Dallas has gone from 4 defensive backs to 6 defensive backs and everything in between. And I really think Cincinnati is just trying to exploit that sort of chess match with the pieces that they have on the field, making them not only defend north and south, but east and west as well.
Absolutely. And when you have a very talented back like Al Ingram III, I mean, it's easy to go ahead and try and switch the game plan up and see what you can get. Right now, Dallas is just playing better defense.
Cincinnati will punt on their opening drive of the third quarter, and this has a chance to be a beaut. Down inside the 5, down at the 4, and there is rejoicing in the special teams room for Cincinnati. You can see the unique rules of the UFL. Do you want to read that, Eric?
I was about to say, you were taking the words right out of my mouth. On punts, ball is going to be down by the kicking team when the player first touches the football. They don't need to possess it. Just as long as they touch it, that's where the ball is going to be marked down.
And it does not look like his inertia going into the end zone is a factor either. And now Duty in the shadow of his own goalpost is going to see Trevius James. We saw Cincinnati in this I think this exact same end of the field, Eric, in the first half. And now Cameron Duty assuming the position here in the second half.
Hey, you got to get out of my head, my friend. That's Robert Brady Jr. there showing the running back James what's going on.
Duty on second down. That is complete to Neil Rivers. Another moderate leverage catch for Neil Rivers, 3rd and 3.
Bit of a quiet night so far here for Rivers. Only a couple catches for 25 yards. We'll see if that improves. He's a very big red zone threat, though.
The 2 tight end set. Lockley in motion. Duty going play action. Throwing to his left this time, and that is caught. And is that our man again? It is Neil Rivers coming up with another first down for his Dallas Talons.
And it was a route tree there because you see that Lockley was lined up there one-on-one, and it was man coverage here for Cincinnati. So Lockley is able to clear out his man by running drag route, slant route, whatever that was on the back end, and Rivers is able to go ahead and just run his route across the middle of the field, beat the linebacker Ford, and is able to get the first down.
You got to think that's a matchup that Dallas really likes, having Neil Rivers match up against the Mike linebacker, Eldrin Ford. And now a fresh set of downs. James with some armaments has a couple there. Not enough blocking. It looked like he had ample blocking, but it didn't work out that way. And now 2nd and 8.
Yeah, it definitely had the workings of a big run. He had 2 blockers right out in front there. Just needed to hold their water a little bit longer, and James was going to be off to the races.
Up the middle, it's James. James with the first down and ahead of steam. And gets out past the 40 down to the 43-yard line. A fresh set of downs for the Talons.
And James starting to find a little bit of momentum himself here, averaging 4 yards a clip here tonight. His best run of the evening. Great blocking up front. Good move there and almost slipped away from the entirety of the Vultures defense that was clustered up in the middle of the field.
And James has been shifty when he's been able to get to the line of scrimmage. You see, is that Mac Chima there just looking for his keys maybe. It's not time to leave yet, Mac. You still got a quarter and a half of football to go. All kinds of tight ends for Dallas here. And there's the handoff around the left side to James. Tight ends be darned. Going to be 2nd and 4.
Ford another tackle, 5 tonight, as he's been doing a great job here in run coverage. Now 2nd and manageable here. Dallas with a good possession here after starting off deep in their own territory, Josh.
Play action, 4-man rush. Duty going for all of it to the end zone, and that's going to be picked off. The arm punt fielded by Cornell Spencer. And Cincinnati will take over on offense.
Yeah, Duty just forced one here. I mean, he wanted the home run ball. He hasn't had it all night. You can see the safety back deep. That's Naisha Ingram just playing center field, and she knows to break on the football if that type of ball comes her way. And sure enough, she's able to add a little bit of pressure, which allows Spencer to go ahead and make the interception. Just a bad read there by Duty. He's now got 12 interceptions this season. That's the 2nd most in the league.
Promising drive ends in tears for the Talons faithful. And now Mac Chima. Does he have his car keys? Can he get this offense started? And that's a very strong start right there. Eric McCabe over the middle. And McCabe his first catch of the game.
And a great catch there. Cincinnati with a prime opportunity. Looked like Chima found the keys to the car and is able to rev the engine there, at least on first down. McCabe, good move there after catching the football, working his way upfield. This is going to be a crucial possession here for the Vultures, especially as we get deeper in this ball game.
Mac Chima trailing, but about to institute surge pricing here if he get his team past midfield. Bunch set, and they hand off to Ingram. And Ingram trying to fight through a cacophony of navy blue jerseys, gets maybe a yard, 2nd and 9.
And that was another run there where you were just waiting for Ingram to go ahead and find a little bit of breathing room and break that one. Both these teams have been doing well with that tonight.
Ingram on the draw. And that was an outstanding play with Frank Bernstein flying in there to get a shot on Ingram to neutralize that play to make it 3rd and medium.
We've seen him make a couple of those plays tonight, especially in the run game, forcing the 3rd and 5 here.
Defensive backs in the run game, something very special. Chima over the middle again and complete again. Finding the seam in that zone is number 81. His first catch of the game, that's Blythe Thomas.
Yeah, and that was an absolute laser there for Chima. There was really a small window of opportunity for him to get it to Blythe Thomas. And great catch there for his first catch of the evening. And a fresh set of downs here for the Vultures. They continue to move the ball down the field.
1 if by land, 2 if Blythe. And now Cincinnati, and there's a penalty. That's going to be a false start on Cincinnati. Man, just when everything was going their way. Yeah, he can't believe it.
Yeah,
and
neither
can I.
Stuff like that.
And now backed up to the 44 in plus territory. Ingram has just swarmed. I count 6 blue jerseys all around him. Not all of them got into the party, but that is a loss. That's actually no gain. It's 2nd and 15 after the penalty.
Yeah, both Heim and Roberts getting in there. Both linebackers playing extremely well tonight, despite the yardage here for Ingram on the ground.
Bubble screen showing some promise here. And that is the best one we've seen so far. Warren Murray finally getting it out of first gear to make it 3rd and 6, gain of 9 on the play.
And the other key piece of the equation, we talked about the success of bubble screens, wide receiver screens. The other key piece here is that Dallas was not in press coverage. That allowed a little bit more operating room for Murray. Not
in press here either, as they are trying to fight for first down yardage, and Troy Gaines is going to be just short. 4th and 2 on the Dallas 31. What are you thinking here, Eric?
That's going to be the question of the evening, and probably one that we can bring in our AI expert Cameron Irvine on following this play. But I mean, for me, I say it's getting a little bit deeper in the ball game. You got a little bit of momentum here, especially off of the turnover. I'd go for it.
They're going to kick the field goal and make this a 1-point game. This will be a 48-yard attempt from Bleeker. Kick is up, and that is in there. And Cincinnati pulls within a single point. It's 7-6. Cameron Irvine, come on down. Give us a little insight into the logic of the Cincinnati Vultures opting to kick instead of go for it on 4th and 2.
Yeah, certainly within the realm of possibility of going for it. And Cincinnati's 2 for 2 on 4th down this season, one of 2 teams that have not failed on a 4th down conversion. Salt Lake, I guess, could be your 3rd because they haven't attempted a 4th down, but they could have kicked it, or I'm sorry, they could have gone for it, but they elected to kick. It certainly was within the realm of possibility. That's an aggressiveness slider that is different to every team, that ups your chances of whether or not you might go for it. In that particular situation, it's 4th and 3 or less.
Cameron Irvine, thank you very much. Eric, I'm going to be honest, I don't hate the call. It's not my favorite, but I don't hate it.
I certainly don't hate the call at all. I mean, especially we're considering we're in the 3rd quarter. Yes, it's deeper in the 3rd quarter. I get that, but go ahead and take the points where you can get the points. If you're confident in your kicker to make that long field goal, go ahead and get him out there and get him to get you some points and make it a 1-point game.
And the proverbial Rick meter creeping towards Cincinnati. Cameron Duty coming off the interception. Cincinnati converting that for points. And now the Talons looking to answer here. They lead by a point, but that's it. And there is a big answer right there. A big catch over the middle by number 82, Charlie Elliott.
Yeah, great job by Elliott, second tight end in the formation. Wide open right away, and great recognition by Duty to get him the football right away as the Vultures bit hard on the play action. Linebackers came up, and that left a whole lot of open space there for Elliott to make that catch.
And that is a great way to start a drive if you're the Dallas Talons, especially playing at home, getting the fans involved, getting another wide receiver involved, another skill player involved. With the third quarter winding down, this is James, and James met very rudely at the line of scrimmage. An outstanding play by Shakir Irie, 2nd and 9.
That's defensive tackle, unclaimed by the way. Shakir Irie coming in there and making a big play there on the line to force the stop.
Will somebody please step up and claim Shakir Irie? And will somebody please put some 4s in chat? We got a good one right here. Cincinnati and Dallas going toe-to-toe. Who will be left standing at the end of the fourth quarter? We'll find out. You're watching UFL Primetime on the Virtual Football Network. He is Eric Vincent. I'm Josh Circle. That is Cameron Duty under center for Dallas on 2nd and 9, handing off for Trevius James. There's a big matchup here in UFL parlance. The winner of this game, be it Cincinnati, they have a chance to take the lead, to be the lead horse in the Great East Conference. Dallas has a chance to come into a tie for the Central Division with St. Louis. If they can come up with that, see, that ball did not come up for Cameron Duty and the Talons, and Dallas will punt yet again. Eric, you get to talk now.
Freddie Grady, the intended wideout on this play, and it was good coverage. Once again, Pearson Pierce doing a good job there in one-on-one coverage, able to jar the football loose. And this is, you mentioned it, Josh. We talked about it at the top of the broadcast. Huge game for both of these teams, and we're seeing it on both sides of the football. I mean, very even in the total yards up to this point in the fourth quarter.
And I know when people see matchups like this, they like to see lots of touchdowns, lots of offense. We see some great defense. Dallas has come up with a couple of huge sacks on Mac Chima. It's not something Cincinnati is prone to do. We've seen a lot of running the football. They've been very innovative. Cincinnati has been in getting Al Ingram involved, and that's something that may continue here. Mac Chima is going to dump it to Ingram right there, and Ingram will get just a couple yards and make it 2nd and medium-ish as we're into the fourth quarter.
And I'll tip my cap to Chima. Early on, it looked like he was not content with letting the play develop. Here, deeper into this ball game, he's allowing the play to develop. The timer is going off in his head. He's finding his check down.
Chima to the sideline. That is caught by Golden. And maybe a yard there. It's going to be 3rd and 5.
And again, these little, 2-3 yard plays that he's checking down to Ingram, those count for something. Sets him up in a third manageable that opens up the playbook here.
Chima on the draw. It's worked well so far for them tonight, but Ingram is going to be a solid 2 yards short, or call it 3 yards short. That's Ryan Van Holten, the lone stalwart, if you will, on this Dallas Talons defense. And now a big decision, perhaps, for Cincinnati.
Yeah, Van Holten, he had himself a big sack in the second quarter there. Good stop there. Heim playing well in run support. And now Dallas with an opportunity to make this a harder one-possession game.
What a
bounce!
The pitching wedge coming out for Brendan Davis. And that is a non-conforming ball. Look at that thing backspin. Magnificent. And that's just going to park it inside the 5-yard line. A 72-yard punt for Brendan Davis shut the front door.
Man, oh man, what was that club he pulled out of the bag? Was that a 52 degree that he pulled out? Man, that backspin though.
72-yard punt. I haven't walked 72 yards today. Cameron Duty on first down. That is Shane Vincent, and he's going to put it on the ground. And Cincinnati's going to recover. Shane Vincent, his first carry, and probably his last.
Turn fence here. You see the little strip right there. trying to get who that was. That was Robert Brady Jr., star linebacker, able to rip that football out and pounces on it. What a play there. Way to put your team on your back and able to get the football, force the turnover, get the recovery, and now Cincinnati's in business.
An outstanding punt for Brendan Davis, an outstanding strip by Robert Brady Jr. And Mac Chima has a chance to be outstanding here. First and goal. Handing off to Al Ingram down to the 2. And my goodness, this game has just flipped on a dime, Eric.
No kidding. I mean, if you're Cincinnati, you got to get in the end zone here. I mean, a field goal is fine, gets you the lead, but come on, man, get it in the end zone.
It does not get much better than this. Chima crossing, and that's picked off. Another turnover for the first of the game for Cincinnati. It's Darrell Lawrence turning the tide for the home team. Unbelievable. You are kidding me right now. And it's just right into his hands. He saw the crossing route, but he didn't see Lawrence. There's no question that's a catch.
I can't believe it. I absolutely can't believe it. Like, that was just insane. And Zirkle, I saw the crossing route. I saw exactly where Chima was wanting to go with the football.
I did too.
And he just waited a fraction too long. Man, so we got back-to-back turnovers in a matter of 3 plays.
And this is absolutely the wrong thing to say, but if they had gone run, as Duty completes another catch to Lockley, if they had gone run, and just kicked the field goal, they'd have a 2-point lead right now.
Absolutely.
But as it stands, Dallas has a chance to maybe stick a fork in this sucker as Duty completes another pass to his most favorite receiver, Rashad Lockley.
Absolutely. I mean, keep the ball on the ground, protect the football, get it into the end zone, and it's a completely different ball game here. But now Dallas seizing the momentum right back after that costly turnover.
First turnover of the game for Cincinnati. After 2 turnovers and 3 drives for Dallas. And now James just going to plow ahead as we see some scores from around the league. How about that one right there? Tennessee taking down mighty St. Louis, who has beaten both of these teams tonight. Well, not tonight, but had beaten them earlier in the season. That, to me, was just an absolute barn burner. Back to our game. Here's James down the left side. Flag on the play. We'll see if the first down stands. That's going to be a personal foul on the defense. And he can't believe it either. That is Jawan Harris. And that's an additional 15-yard bonus for the Dallas
Josh,
offense.
I think they got him for the late hit out of bounds there. It was the extra shove on the sideline there that gave him the additional 15 yards. Crazy penalty there. A little bit of a ticky-tacky call if you're asking me. But, man, that sucks for Cincinnati at this point.
You remember the personal foul call in the first half off the kick return, Eric, that led to Dallas getting the ball on their own 47-yard line, and that led to the Trevius James TD. So far, the only TD in this game. Cameron Duty looking to change that here with less than 7 minutes remaining in regulation. James nowhere to go. Swarmed by white and gold. And he's going to be dropped well behind the line of scrimmage, 3rd and a country mile.
Well, I tell you what, his wide receiver did him no favors. Shane Vance was coming off the line and didn't even bother to chip his corner in front of him at all, and that's what led to so many different defenders being there to meet James in the backfield. So just a broken down play there for the Dallas offense.
And now Duty on the cusp of field goal range. This would be about a 55-yard field goal. Can they even get a little closer? Finding James toward the sideline, and they maybe got closer. I don't know if they're going to call that complete or not. 4th and 18. This will be a 58-yarder, Eric. What do you think?
Yeah, they're going to call it a catch by Walls there, and they're going to call it a loss of 2, so it's going to put them back even further. Oh. And I don't think that their kicker has the leg to get it there, and sure enough, they're not confident in that either. It's going to be a punt.
Bray Strong will try and pin him deep. Punting right over the 50-yard line. And that's going to be down at the 14. Cincinnati has 6 minutes and a pocket full of dynamite. What can Mac Chima do here?
I mean, he's been fairly efficient tonight, minus that one interception. But, I mean, man, now would be a good time to maybe go to the passing attack and see if you can air it down the field.
Warren Murray on line 1. And there's T-Roy Gaines on line 2. Up to the 35, down at the 37. Less than 6 minutes to play.
I mean, T-Roy's been the option tonight for Cincinnati in the passing game. I mean, the
Yes.
normal suspects here, the usual suspects, Warren Murray and Byleth Thomas, really quiet nights for them. But T-Roy has just been feasting over the middle of that field, which is funny because the linebackers have been playing very, very well here for Dallas in the run game. Inexplicably, T-Roy is just being let to roam free.
Warren Murray came into the game with 8 receiving touchdowns. That was best on the UFL leaderboard. We only have 1 touchdown between 2 teams here tonight. Can Mac Chima change that? Dumping it off, and that is a brutal shot right into the grill of Al Ingram. Absolutely brutal by Corin Foxworth.
And Zirkle, I want to point your attention to the total yards. After that play, Cincinnati has 235 total yards. Dallas has 234 total yards. If that doesn't tell us how evenly matched of this game that we've gotten tonight, I mean, I don't know what will. And then able to just hammer into Ingram and make that big hit. I'm surprised he held on to the football.
As am I. And now 2nd and 11. 3-man rush from Dallas this time. Chima with all the time in the world. He's going to turn and go. Out to the 35 and then down at the 37. 3rd and 10. They had 8 defenders in coverage, and Chima couldn't find anybody.
Man, and you saw Roberts on the back end. They're trying to repay the favor and rip the football out of Chima's hands, able to secure it, and now it's a 3rd and long here.
Gotta have it. Mac Chima to the left side. That is caught, but out of bounds is Gaines. The plant foot hit the white, and now it's going to be 4th and 9.
Yep, only 1 yard there. That'll stop the clock at 4:09. Dallas with another opportunity here to chew some clock and add some points to the board.
Cincinnati decided with all 3 timeouts they're going to punt it. And that is way into the back of the end zone. And now Cameron Duty with a chance to ice this sucker. Can he do so here against what has been a very stout Cincinnati defense that has produced 2 turnovers in the last 4 drives?
Gonna have to take care of the football here. No unnecessary mistakes, no unnecessary risks.
If they hold the ball for 4 minutes, they win. Duty gonna take a shot down the middle of the field, and luckily has the catch. And it's
Wow.
and there's nobody to catch him. 20-10-5 touchdown. Dallas finds the end zone when it matters.
Man, you could ask Josh Zirkle up here in the broadcast booth. I literally just threw my papers full of notes just in the air right after I said no unnecessary risks, no unnecessary I mean, this is a bonkers play. First of all, you're going to go down the field and find your boy Lockley, and then he makes that ridiculous play to break it to the end zone. I mean, look at this. Great play. Holds onto the ball through the hit, recognizes the additional defenders in his way, and dispatches of them quickly. He is in the end zone. Dallas extending their lead.
And for 2 seconds, he was like running the wrong way. Like he couldn't believe he caught it either. And now with a chance to make this an 8-point lead, it'll still be a 1-score game. But that is up and good. Off the foot of Corey Ruth. And now the equation changes a little bit for Cincinnati.
Unplayed 12 seconds, 80 yards. I mean, the game just flips on its head, doesn't it?
That's about as efficient as it gets. Cincinnati still has all their timeouts. They have just under 4 minutes of regulation. A field goal does them no good. They need a touchdown, and they need the 2-point conversion just to force overtime. Dallas, meanwhile, has a chance to pull into a tie for the Central Division lead with St. Louis, who lost earlier tonight to Tennessee, if you saw that on UFL game night. So everything at this point turning up Dallas so far. Kick is away. They will return it. Out to the 20, down to the 26. And get your popcorn ready for Mac Chima, Al Ingram, T-Roy Gaines, Blythe Thomas, and Warren Murray. Time to show us what you got, gentlemen.
And just a final point here on Lockley on that catch there. That was the longest catch of the season for Lockley or anyone on the Dallas roster. Tied for the third longest catch in the UFL this season.
Chima sets and throws. That is caught. Warren Murray. And Warren Murray says it's about gosh darn time. 3:37 to play.
He's going to need to be involved on this drive here. Clock ticking away. Electing to go no huddle. Good call here for Cincinnati's offense.
Trips to Chima's right. Play action. And Golden will block. And that is another big catch and a brutal tackle. And that is T-Roy Gaines. Who else? Coming up with a big catch in plus territory.
And even before the catch was made, Zirkle, I want you to watch Al Ingram the third. We don't even get a replay. Great cut there to keep the blitzer from getting to Chima.
Absolutely, I saw it too. Chima to his left this time. Warren Murray, his second catch of the drive. You see the numbers there for Chima, closing in on 200 yards, closing in on the end zone as well.
Great drive here. Especially smart going no huddle here and wanting to get points on the board in a hurry.
Staying in a 4-wide set, less than 3 minutes to play. Chima to the right sideline this time, and that is going to be over the head of Matt Green. Stops the clock with 2:42 to play.
Not in a bad spot here for Cincinnati, especially with both teams, all three timeouts, just sniffing the outside of the red zone.
3rd and 1. They send the blitz. Chima makes a completion, and that is caught. Matt Green comes up with it this time, and it's 1st and goal.
Chima in this offense are dissecting this Dallas blitz to perfection. I mean, it is just surgical the way that he is going about it.
Chima again, 1st and goal. 4-man rush this time to the end zone. Incomplete. Looking for Blythe Thomas. Couldn't quite get it there. 2:18 to play. You got to get a touchdown. You got to get the 2-point.
Jordan Palmer almost had probably a game-sealing interception there.
Missed it by that much. Bubble screen. What do you got? Matt Green's got nothing. That's going to be a loss of 3. And now 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line.
Jared Marshall, great job playing run support there, coming up and making the hit in a hurry. And I don't think they're going to get one more play.
3rd down to the end zone. In and out of the hands of Matt Green. As we go to the 2-minute warning. The 4th down for the ages coming up for Cincinnati. You're watching UFL Primetime on the Virtual Football Network. And here we go. Keep that music playing. Mac Chima, you got to have it. Here comes the blitz. To the corner of the end zone, back to the back of the end zone. And Cincinnati will turn it over on downs.
Man, oh man, just a bad play call there for Cincinnati. They're that close to the end zone. Not much that you could do on that one. Chima just trying to get it to the back of the end zone. Looked like he had his receiver open just a bit too strong on that one. First failed 4th down conversion here of the season for Cincy, but they do have an opportunity to get the football back still with all 3 timeouts.
I am more than a little surprised we did not see Al Ingram there on any of those plays from 1st and goal. I will simply say that. Camera duty will hand off. Trevius James looking to close this out. Cincinnati will burn that first timeout. And Cameron Irvine, get in here. Let's talk about that goal line set from Cincinnati. Didn't see much of the run game there.
Yeah, Cincinnati goes no huddle early because we want the team that's trailing late in the 4th quarter to have as many bites at the apple as possible. Some of the feedback that we've seen over the years in the chat is that, you know, why are we slowing things down when we're trailing in the game? Let's get as many opportunities as possible. So that's why you might not see Ingram there, because Cincinnati's running that no huddle. Even though they're inside the 10, they're still just trying to go as fast as possible. What happens if you don't get the 2-point conversion, after you score, etc.? So Cincinnati, because they went fast, they're giving themselves a chance here on 3rd down and 10 to potentially get the ball back and get one more shot.
Here we go. Fantastic insight behind the curtain from Cameron Irvine. Thank you, Cam. Camera duty. This is a gotta have it as well. Up the middle, did he get the first down? He did on the second effort. Cincinnati will use their last timeout. But we can stick a fork in this one. What a fantastic piece of football that you just saw tonight.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head, Josh. That was a gotta-have-it play, and the defense met Travius James right at the line of scrimmage. He was able to keep churning his feet to get that necessary yard, half a yard, to get the first down. And now Cincinnati, no other opportunities to stop the clock, and Dallas should walk out with a home victory tonight.
A fantastic game by both teams. And really, you thought the two turnovers in the second half from Dallas would have been enough for Cincinnati to come out on top. But they had the interception of their own as James scrambles to the 26 there. And then the turnover on downs had 1st and goal inside the 10. 4 and out, couldn't get it done. But really nothing to be ashamed of, just a titanic slugfest between two of the best this league has to offer.
Absolutely, and I have no doubt in my mind that both of these teams are going to be in the playoffs come time for that. I mean, only 8 teams getting into the playoffs, but I mean, you can clearly see that both of these teams are built differently. They're going to be there in the final 8.
Why don't you give me a player of the game real quick, Eric?
Player of the game. Man, it is hard to say. I mean, probably Rashad Lockley. I mean, he played his absolute tail off here for the Talons. Gave them that extra touchdown there to go ahead and give them the 8-point lead and really kind of set this game away for the Dallas Talons here at home.
Congratulations to the Dallas Talons, pulling into a lead to share the lead of the Central Division with St. Louis. A fantastic piece of football. It's unfortunate that one team had to lose. Eric Vincent, your thoughts on the game overall?
That's the beauty of football, though, man. It is gladiators going out there, knockdown, drag-out fights. Only one team can come out victorious. Tonight it happened to be the Talons, but who knows? Cincinnati might have another bite at the apple, and they might take down the Talons in the near future. Great football game. Great start to Week 9 here for the UFL.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe here on the Virtual Football Network. More UFL action coming your way Friday, May 23rd. Your final score from Dallas: Talons 14, Vultures 6. For Eric Vincent and Cameron Irvine, I'm Josh Circle. Thank you for watching. Good night.